Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is McKenzie, and I am on the board here at Unity. I was also a member of the Evolutionary Council that conducted the Conscious Conversations interviews, and I was also part of the team that processed the results and came up with the final report, which is available online, so I'm sure all of you have downloaded your copy. Maybe you have it available with your highlighters. If so, get it out. I'm kidding. It is available online on our website, so I highly encourage you to just, if you have some time, take a look. It has some really valuable information. And so what I'm going to do is give you a quick overview of Conscious Conversations and then just give you my part of the report. So as Dr. Gary and Dr. Jane move us toward a more sustainable model of ministry that is mission-centric as opposed to ministry-centric, it was important for us to gauge the temperature of those attending Unity. And so that included everyone from, governing members that have been here for 40 years or more, all the way to people that have attended once or twice. So we wanted to really get a feel for everyone. And so we interviewed 130 people, and the Conscious Conversations were just that. They were open-ended questions, person-to-person, heart-centered, inquiries about what is moving, evolving, and emerging within our spiritual community. So it was a really amazing process. And Joan Reckling and Sally Sledge gave their portion of the report in May, and as well as their own experience with it, and then Judy Jameson gave hers last month in June. So I'm presenting on part 4, which is the emerging trends and what's evolving in our ministry. And then I'll also share a little bit about my experience with the whole process. So the questions we asked to get to the heart of what's emerging and evolving were 3 questions. They were, what do you need or desire to become more fulfilled in your relationship to our spiritual community? What shifts or changes do you perceive could benefit our spiritual community? And then, is there anything else you would like to share? Okay, so out of those questions, 9 main themes emerged, and I'm going to go in order of the comments we received on those, because again, they were open-ended questions, so lots of comments. The first one was with 66 comments, and that was about Sunday services. And so that included everything from, having a longer meditation time, people absolutely loving the message that they received, having more Q&As with the ministers, which we've implemented, and then, just lots of comments about Sunday services. And then also, some passionate responses to our meet and greet time. Some people love it, some people hate it, so very interesting information. The next one was 52 comments in relation to outreach. And in this case, outreach means Unity communicating their mission and message into the larger community to draw more folks in. And so there were a lot of comments around increasing outreach to diverse groups, families, LGBTQ plus communities, as well as more marketing of the spiritual center, that type of thing. And then there were 50 comments on service in the greater Spokane community. So, offering more service opportunities. Many people mentioned wanting themselves to volunteer more. Maybe they hadn't taken advantage of the opportunities that were presented here at Unity, and they wanted to do that. So it was a lot of self-reflection as well. And then there were 45 comments around our internal community building efforts with other members and guests. So social activities, dinners, welcoming newcomers, name tags, which we've implemented a lot of these things that we took from the conversations. And so that was great information to have. There were 42 comments about classes and small group activities. So a lot of people, love the Q process, they love spirit groups, and then, people kind of had some recommendations for additional class opportunities, retreats, support groups, recovery groups, etc. There were 27 comments about ownership. That was another theme. And our congregation's commitment to supporting this ministry through leadership, volunteering, and financial contributions. And, again, this is all about being more mission-centric, the ownership is. And then we had 23 comments about youth and family ministry, so soliciting more volunteers in those areas, youth choir, parenting support, childcare, that type of thing. 20 comments on communication and leadership, So ways to create more transparent communication between the congregation, the board, leadership groups, and a lot of those things we're doing as well, like with board updates and other ways to communicate more about what's going on, kind of behind the scenes. And finally, there were 7 comments about facilities. So that is including the building, sanctuary, and other things. Some people were pretty passionate, like, some wanted to burn the building down, others loved the building, start all over. So lots of good information there. So those were the 9 themes, and as far as my experience goes, when I started the process, or when I became part of the Evolutionary Council, I had only been attending Unity for about 1.5 years, and I hadn't really been participating much at that point, and so I was a little bit nervous and unsure of what this, Evolutionary Council Conscious Conversations would be like. So it was a little intimidating, but then of course it turned out to be a wonderful opportunity. I especially enjoyed the interviews because not only was I able to get to really know other people, I was able to understand their own experience about how Unity has transformed their lives. And of course that felt very similar to my own experience. So it gave us an additional connection and really kind of reinforced my feeling and sense of just being part of this wonderful community. The experience also offered me a deeper dive into what goes on in a dynamic and innovative spiritual center like Unity. My past experience with church was not, particularly positive. And of course, the churches that I was involved with were very minister-centered. And so I never felt motivated to be a part of anything because it felt like things just were dictated to me. And so to be a part of the process is, wow, that's new. And so that's why this process really invigorated my support for having a mission-centered ministry. And then, let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, yeah, the other part is, the experience of being part of the Evolutionary Council, where we, members of the church, were in charge of the interviews, the collecting of the data, the processing of it, and then the final report without almost no, oversight he gave us oversight, but no kind of overlord, making sure that we said the things that we needed to say. It was very much, it came from the interviews, and we reported that, and that's what you have in the report. So that was refreshing as well, and it feels very authentic and real. And finally, this process helped me realize how empowering it is to be part of a mission-centric spiritual center, where I have ownership over my role in the community and where the minister is not the end-all be-all. This is especially important to me as I'm studying to be a Unity minister myself. Thank you. So I am definitely on team mission-centric, if there is such a team. And that's it. Thank you.